of Change News.
This is Voice of Change Radio News. Good day, I'm Amanda Kumalo. A look at stories making the headlines. First Lady's goodwill empowers Doma community. In business news, Zimbabwe, Belarus to ink more deals. In regional and international news, Chinese-built seaport set to transform Nigeria. In sports news, FC Platinum League title under threat. The news in detail. First Lady Dr. Oxley Mnangagwa's hand has been visible in efforts to ensure members of the previously marginalized Doma community in Kanyemba attend school, among other life-changing empowerment programs she has initiated. Some of the learners had their fees and consumables paid for by the First Lady through the Angel of Hope Foundation, which is touching lives throughout the country. Prior to the First Lady's intervention, learners in Kanyemba lagged behind in education as they could not read or write, but now some of them have progressed to do Form 1 at Chapoto Secondary School. The Deputy Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Evangelist Peter Haritotos, has been blown away by the magnitude of the construction of Lake Gwaishangani in Matebele North Province. Speaking during a tour of the site, Deputy Minister Haritotos described the project as massive. He further said he was impressed by the endless possibilities of empowerment that the lake presented to people in Matebele and the country. The project has become an example of true development and empowerment in Africa and is a perfect example of President Mnangagwa's vision of uplifting every citizen so that everyone plays a part in achieving Vision 2030. He said communities will benefit from irrigation projects that will be established, including fisheries and tourism. The dam, which will provide a permanent solution to Bulawayo's perennial water shortages, will also provide 10 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. Moving on to business news, Zimbabwe and Belarus are expected to strengthen their growing bilateral ties and pursue more areas of cooperation when Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko arrives in Harare today for a historic 3-day state visit, seen as a follow-up to the 350 million mega deals signed between the two countries 3 years ago. President Mnangagwa will hold crucial talks with President Lukashenko aimed at deepening bilateral relations between the two countries. Some of the areas of cooperation that will be strengthened include energy, manufacturing, transport, logistics, and development of agricultural projects. A look at what is happening beyond our borders. Nigeria has opened $1 billion Chinese-built deep seaport in Lagos, which is expected to ease jamming at the country's ports and help it become an African hub for transshipment, handling cargoes in transit for other destinations. President Muhammadu Buhari, who commissioned the port on Monday, has made building infrastructure a key pillar of his government's economic policy and hopes this will help his ruling party win votes during next month's presidential election. And finally, in sports, FC Platinum are facing the grim possibility of losing the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League title they won last season should they be found guilty of using a bad player during the campaign. The Rishavane-based club, who were yet again victorious in the league last term, might have all this sensationally swept away if the miners are to be found of having flouted football regulations. That ends this news bulletin.
Voice of Change News.